Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I will be doing another episode of Tech Touch-Up Tuesday. Today I will be talking about different things I've been learning in my classes. I just started my PhD in computer science, and if you're new here, I'm Liz, and this kind of series is where I apply my makeup and get ready while talking about different things in the technology world and the computer science world that I find interesting. So without anything else, thank you guys so much for coming on this journey with me, and let's get into the video. First, foundation and concealer. So now my foundation and concealer are done. I also touched up my eyebrows and I primed my eyelids for eyeshadow. If you're curious about any of the products that I use on my face today, they will all be listed in the description box below. And I also wanted to say that I'm using this beautiful bright Jaclyn Hill Volume 2 palette from Morphe. I got this so long ago but haven't really used it that much, and now sadly summer is coming to an end. So we're just gonna dip our brush in and see what I come up with. Now, I don't know if any of you have started school, but I recently started last week, and in the background, there's stuff happening outside. This is real life, folks, and I hope that they're okay. I actually have a video up of my first day of school, just kind of seeing what my day looked like. And now I've had a full week, so I know what my schedule is and I know what to expect in the coming weeks. And the class that I have done probably the most work in has been my cybersecurity course. So I'm taking a course called Foundations of Cybersecurity. That's hard to say. So I'm taking a course called Foundations of Cybersecurity, and I went to undergrad for computer science and math, but I did not take any cybersecurity courses during my undergrad. So I am going into this class completely new, and thankfully the professor's super qualified and he has his whole course schedule and plan right there online for us. So if we want to work ahead, we can, and that's great. So for the first module, we learned about the difference between safety and security. So safety has to do with protecting yourself against accidents. So think about like a natural disaster. So the controls that you want to have in place if there was a tornado would be having a tornado shelter, and these things might be more unpredictable. And then security protects against intentional malice, so something that is deliberate. So the example that we were given was for something that we wanted to have security would be if someone were to bomb a building. So that was something intentional. But if there was a tornado, it could still affect the building, but you have different kind of ways of going about how you would protect based on that situation. Going to zoom you in. Something else we learned about was how digital information is information encoded in discrete numbers, and that has unfortunately made it a lot easier for accounts to get their information taken and replicated and used. So we were talking about different situations where, because of the way we share information today, it's a lot easier to have that information taken and put somewhere where it's not supposed to be. So back before, we had different files to store information, like a song. So we have an MP3 file and we can download it and share it and save it and send it anywhere. But before, if we just had a record on a record player, it would be a lot harder to share your record with somebody in a different continent than you. So there are a lot more threats to security in the digital world now than there would be if we didn't use digital information. So we also learned the definition of information security, which is the endeavor to achieve protection goals specific to information. And there are 3 specific goals associated with information security, and it's called the CIA Triad. C stands for confidentiality, I stands for integrity, and A stands for availability. I'm liking this shade. It's very pretty. I'm impressed. I changed up the view a little bit, but moving forward. Going into the CIA Triad, C stands for confidentiality, which ensures that information is accessible only to authorized parties. So the next part of the CIA Triad is integrity, and integrity requires that any modification of information can be detected. So if you take an image, for example, a JPEG file, the image could have encoded information about where the picture was taken, or when it was taken, or how big the picture is, how much space it takes up. And if someone goes in and edits the digitally encoded information, it may not affect what the image looks like. And so to someone who opens up the file and it looks the same, you may not know that any of the data was changed because you didn't check any of the encoded information. And so integrity helps you detect if anyone has gone in and changed the information on your file. Now, the last part of the CIA Triad, which is availability. Availability ensures that authorized parties can access assets when they are needed. And you did it right from the start. So the example that we were talking about for availability was in October 2016, there was a denial of service attack which disrupted popular sites like Amazon, Twitter, and Spotify, and they relied on a DNS provider, and unfortunately it meant that those sites couldn't function and were down. So some cybersecurity threats are not just to the main organization, but to what that main organization relies on to function. And of course, a lot of people rely on Amazon and Twitter, and I'm sure they were not happy if they had to use those immediately that day and the site wasn't working. So it is a big deal. Okay. I'm gonna do some highlight on my brow. Just like so. We also talked about the differences between threats, vulnerabilities, and attacks. So, a threat is a set of circumstances that has the potential to cause harm, and then a vulnerability is a weakness that might be exploited to cause harm. And then an attack is a realization of a threat by exploiting a vulnerability. And harm is the negative consequence of an attack. So again, for this cybersecurity course, we're learning kind of the concepts and the definitions so that when we get into more technical stuff, we have the foundation to grow upon. And so we learned about controls or countermeasures, which are in place to remove or reduce a vulnerability. And they can fall into different categories, like to prevent an attack, or to deflect an attack, or to mitigate an attack. So something that I found interesting that was talked about was, if you can't make your organization impossible to infiltrate, it's not the end of the world. You just have to make your organization a harder target than other organizations. So then you are a harder target and it makes you unappealing to other hackers, and maybe they'll go for an easier target. I'm just gonna blend a little bit up here, just like so, because that highlight is bright. Okay, and I'm going to do my mascara real quick. So now my mascara is on, and I'm going to do my face products like blush and bronzer really quickly. I had to pick a current event, or not a current event. I had to pick an event that was a breach of security that happened, and since I want to learn more about YouTube security and how to stay safe as a creator and a user on YouTube, I looked into different events that have happened that compromised creators. And actually, in September 2019, there was a spear phishing attack, which basically, spear phishing, kind of like, you know, actual spear phishing, phishing emails. It means like when an email gets sent to a bunch of people that lures them, like a fish on a hook, lures them into clicking a bad link to download bad software, or maybe they put in their login credentials because they think that the email instructs them to log in, and then the person on the other end of the phishing email gets access to that account password and whatever credentials that user puts in. So this happened in September 2019. A bunch of car channels on YouTube were actually targeted, so they received more of this attack than other genres on YouTube. I was looking at the different things that are in place. So Google itself can filter out a lot of bad emails. They have different spam folders and different things that they can help creators so that they don't fall for a trap. But I was looking into what a user can do if you get a sketchy email, because I know a lot of younger creators on YouTube, if you want to have an awesome business opportunity, you may see an email that looks like it could be wonderful and that it's an amazing big company that you want to join, and you put in your credentials or you click a link because it looks inviting, and that's just not the case. It ends up hurting you. And I also worry for if you're a smaller creator and you get hacked, if there's as many people behind you to be able to help you recover your channel, get your information, and not have anything deleted or modified or something that could jeopardize your reputation on YouTube. So I definitely want to be the safest that I can possibly be as a YouTube user, creator, and also I want to be safe with my email accounts and finances and everything, just as a normal person in the 21st century. I'm sure a lot of you have, you know, some sort of an account where you'd be devastated if somebody got into it and messed stuff up. So when I was also researching this, I found out that according to Get Cybersafe, which is an organization in Canada, about 156 million phishing emails are sent every day. Of those, 16 million make it through filters, like spam filters. From there, 8 million are opened, 800,000 links are clicked, and 80,000 users fall for a scam and share their personal info. So, phishing is a real threat, and we definitely want to do as much as we can so that we're not victims of it and lose a lot of control over our accounts. So with that, I am running late for lunch, and I'm just gonna put on, I wanted to put on a nice lip. Where is it? Are you hiding? Where'd you go? So the finishing touch here. So with that, I think I'm done. Here's what it looks like up close. I did a little bit of orange, a little bit of purple, and I'm really, really happy with how it turned out. Thanks so much for joining me on another episode of Tech Touch-Up Tuesday. I am so excited to share more videos with you. I have an advice video coming on Thursday, and I will go over the different parts of the graduate school application, so definitely keep an eye out for that. And if you're curious, I just made a video on 5 reasons why you should go to grad school, so check that out if you haven't already. And I hope you have a wonderful week ahead of you. I know you're gonna do great things, and I am excited to see you very soon.